Hey everybody, Scott and Nate here, and we're here to talk today about some cross training. Today we're going to talk about getting on the stationary bike. What we really want to do is we want to think about the stationary bike as a way, one, to get some active recovery, and two, to build some aerobic endurance. It's likely that we're going to be a little bit sore today because we just did a hard workout yesterday and our muscles aren't used to that. So what we really want to do is we want to help our body cycle some of the lactic acid out of our muscles, help them recover, help them be ready to be strong and ready to go again tomorrow. So one way that you can do that is by just getting on an exercise bike here and going for about 20 minutes or so at a nice, easy, and consistent pace. Something that you could have a conversation at, something that you can talk to a friend. I mean, if you even wanted to get on the phone and talk to somebody, there's no reason why this has to be something where you're isolated and doing it by yourself. Now, if it's a day that you're feeling a little bit more, Scott's going to describe a little bit a way to make it a little bit more active, get a little bit more aerobic impact out of it.
Well, what I was going to say is if you're wearing a prosthetic limb and you're on a cycle, a few of the tricks or tips that we will give you to help you adapt to the cycle. Raising the seat a little bit more, especially on a stationary bike, is nice because on a road bike, there's the danger if your feet can't touch the ground, you could fall over. On a stationary bike, it should be nice and solid. The idea is the further you have the seat lengthened, the less the knees have to bend. This is actually a little small for me. I have my own stationary bike in the office, so my knees are bending a little bit more than I'm used to. But I do quite a bit of cycling, so that's okay. The other thing, there aren't stirrups or toe clips on this particular bike that I'm riding, but if you have access to a bike that has like cycling shoes and toe clips and you already have cycling shoes, I highly recommend that for amputees who like to cycle. Stirrups are good if you're on a stationary bike, but again, you might want to avoid those on the road because if you're to fall, you'd have difficulty getting your legs out in time.
So do you want to talk about some of the circuits that you do while you're on the bike?
So like Nate said, getting yourself at a speed where you can be comfortable. And I think we want to get, if you're starting out, this is the first week that we're doing the CrossFit series. We're trying to get, find people where they can get at a pace where they can go for 15 to 20 minutes. Preferably 20 minutes is what we're shooting for here. On the stationary bikes, there is levels of resistance. So what I do to keep myself engaged in the process. Let's just think if you have levels from 1 to 10, I think, on some of the other exercise bikes, they go over 20, but you might want to go to level 1 to start out with. If you're warming up, work your way up to a level 3, and then go back down to level 1. So the first 5 minutes, like the first 2 minutes, you would go level 1, go 1 minute at level 3, and then back down to finish all your other 5 minutes at, 2 minutes at level 1. Then you're warmed up at that point, so we say kick it up to level 3 for 2 minutes. That would be from 5 to 7 minutes, and then you could jump from level 3 to 5 for 1 minute, which would take you to the 8-minute mark, then kick it back down to level 1, so you just cruise it nice and easy at, a low level pace that's comfortable.
And the levels aren't going to be as important as kind of what your perceived effort is.
Yes.
So the idea is that you really want your baseline to stay at that easy perceived effort, the same effort that you could do the whole 20 minutes at, an effort that that you can recover. And then pick whether it's a 1 minute, a 2 minute, that's kind of arbitrary based on how you're feeling, but pick a small cycle or segment of time and push a little bit harder. Push to maybe 70% of your capacity, 80%. And then after that time, go back down, let yourself recover. Go for another 1 or 2 minutes and then go back. It's kind of just changing those resistances, keeping yourself from getting as bored and just spending 20 minutes of just the monotonous
the interval
cycling.
Training can be a great way to keep yourself engaged in the process, especially if you're new to cycling or things like that where you might feel like, oh gee, I don't like the word bored because you should, but it keeps you engaged. Like I was saying, a way to do it might be you go 2 minutes at your moderate level, your level 1, do level 3 for just a minute, and then go back and do 2. It doesn't matter how you do it. It's just an option. And again, there's nothing wrong with setting up at level 2 or 3 if you're comfortable there, and just going the whole 20 minutes at that pace. We're giving you guys some ideas.
Especially as you're beginning. Just because today you stayed at a level 2 or at your more moderate pace doesn't mean that the next time that you go back to this, you wouldn't be feeling more confident and wanting to challenge yourself a little bit more.
And what you're going to find is as you get stronger, where this gets to be really important, your strength levels, your endurance levels, they're going to change. So you're going to find that playing around with these resistances, oh, this felt really hard a week and a half ago, and now I'm really comfortable here. So it kind of helps you find your comfort zone. Like Nate said, during recovery time, if this is new to you too, That's going to vary on different days, and that's okay. That doesn't mean if you don't feel like you had as much energy as you did on Thursday as you did on Tuesday, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
It just means the other exercises are working as well.
Right. Okay, we hope to see you tomorrow.